Have you ever felt like you're wandering through life without a clear sense of direction or purpose? Like you're caught in an endless cycle, chasing after things that never quite satisfy your soul? You're not alone. Throughout history, countless thinkers, philosophers, and everyday individuals have grappled with the same questions. What is the meaning of life? And why are we here? These existential questions can seem daunting, even overwhelming, but they're also the gateway to profound insights that can bring clarity and purpose to our lives. Today, we're going to delve into 3 existential insights that can help us find meaning in the maze of modern life. But before we dive into these insights, let me tell you a story about a journey that changed the course of my own search for meaning. 5 years ago, I found myself in a small cafe, nestled in a corner of a bustling city. It was one of those days when the world seemed heavy, and every face I saw seemed caught up in the same endless rush. I ordered a coffee, sat down, and opened a book by the famous existentialist philosopher, Albert Camus. As I read, a passage struck me so profoundly that it felt like the words were written just for me. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. The idea that meaning could be found even amidst life's harshest winters captivated me. It set me on a path of exploration, seeking to understand how we can cultivate our own invincible summers. And that's what I want to share with you today. 3 existential insights that I've discovered on my journey to finding meaning in life. Insight 1, embrace the absurdity. The first insight is inspired by the existentialist philosophy of Albert Camus himself. Embrace the absurdity. Life can often feel absurd. We pursue goals, seek happiness, and chase dreams, only to be met with obstacles, failures, and questions about the ultimate purpose of our efforts. Camus suggests that instead of seeking definite answers, we should embrace the absurdity of existence. Let's take a step into ancient mythology. The tale of Sisyphus is one of relentless struggle. Sisyphus was condemned by the gods to roll a massive boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time he neared the top. This eternal task seemed meaningless, yet Camus saw something extraordinary in Sisyphus's plight. He proposed that we must imagine Sisyphus as happy. In his defiance and determination, Sisyphus finds meaning not in reaching the summit, but in the very act of pushing the boulder. In our lives, embracing absurdity means accepting the uncertainty and unpredictability of existence. Instead of being paralyzed by life's lack of clear meaning, we can find purpose in the journey itself, in our efforts, our passions, and our persistence. Let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I decided to learn the piano. I had no experience, no real goal other than the desire to create music. Initially, I struggled. Every note felt awkward, and I wondered if I'd ever be able to play a full song. But then I started to appreciate the process, the small victories, the practice sessions where I got lost in the music, the moments of frustration that turned into breakthroughs. It wasn't about becoming a master pianist. It was about embracing the journey with all its absurdities. The act of playing became meaningful in itself. Insight 2, the power of authenticity. The second insight is about embracing the power of authenticity. In a world that often demands conformity, finding our authentic selves can be a challenging yet deeply rewarding journey. Existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre emphasize the importance of living authentically, of aligning our actions with our true values, beliefs, and desires. Consider the remarkable story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who endured the unimaginable horrors of Nazi concentration camps. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl reflects on the profound resilience of the human spirit. Despite the suffering, Frankl discovered that those who found meaning and purpose, even in dire circumstances, were more likely to survive. His insight was clear. When we live authentically, true to our values and purpose, we can endure even the harshest conditions. Living authentically isn't always easy, especially when societal pressures urge us to fit in or follow a certain path. But authenticity is where true meaning resides. Take a moment to think about your own life. Are there areas where you're not being true to yourself? Where you're compromising your values for the sake of acceptance or success? It might be time to rediscover your authentic self. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities or making drastic changes overnight. Instead, It's about taking small steps toward aligning your actions with your inner truth. I once worked a job that, on paper, seemed perfect. It offered stability, a good salary, and respect. But something felt off. Each day felt like I was living someone else's life. Eventually, I realized that the dissonance came from a lack of authenticity. I wasn't following my true passion or purpose. I made a difficult decision to leave and pursue my love for storytelling and philosophy. It was a leap into the unknown, but it led me to a more fulfilling and meaningful path. Insight 3, connection and community. The third insight centers around the power of connection and community. Existential thinkers often emphasize the importance of relationships and community in finding meaning. While existentialism can sometimes seem solitary, it deeply values the connections we form with others. In many African cultures, there's a beautiful philosophy called Ubuntu, which translates to, "I am because we are." This concept highlights the interconnectedness of humanity and the idea that our well-being is tied to the well-being of others. Ubuntu teaches us that meaning is found not just within ourselves, but in the relationships we nurture, the communities we build, and the lives we touch. In our fast-paced individualistic world, it's easy to overlook the significance of community. Yet connection is a powerful source of meaning. Whether it's through family, friendships, or shared interests, these connections enrich our lives. Think about the communities you're part of. How do they contribute to your sense of meaning, and how can you deepen those connections? I remember a camping trip with close friends, a weekend away from the noise of everyday life. As we sat around the campfire, sharing stories and laughter, I realized the profound impact of connection. It wasn't just about being physically present, but truly engaging with others, listening, and sharing our authentic selves. In our quest for meaning, these 3 existential insights offer valuable guidance. Embracing the absurdity of life, living authentically, and nurturing connections with others. Life may not always provide clear answers, but within the questions, we find our path. By embracing the journey, being true to ourselves, and connecting with others, we uncover the layers of meaning that make life truly worthwhile. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of existential insights. Remember, the search for meaning is an ongoing journey, one that we all travel together. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.